Hello, folks. It's Derek Eichenwald with Triumph Capital Management, your favorite money manager. And today is your market update for Thursday, August 20th, 2026. Sorry for the late post. Well, as you know, stocks resumed their broad sell-off today. The Dow gave up a whopping 703 points. It was down 1.3%. The S&P lost 67 points, but was down nearly 1%. And the Nasdaq sold off 263 points, or basically about 1%. That said, take a step back. Remember, all three major indexes stay in positive territory for the year with a nice double-digit gain on all of them. So first thing this morning, before the markets open, we got some economic data. We got weekly jobless claims in the Philadelphia Fed's manufacturing survey. Weekly jobless claims presented a strong positive number. You see, each week we get unemployment data, or what Wall Street refers to as weekly jobless claims. This is the number of people claiming unemployment benefits. Well, last week, what we had a number of 112,000. And this week, for what we got reported for this morning, that dropped by 6,000. So the number came in at 206,000. That's a very positive number. More people working, more people spending, better corporate profits. Second piece of economic data that we got was the Philadelphia federal manufacturing number, and that came in well above expectations. What that Philadelphia manufacturing number is there's a survey of manufacturing conditions from CEOs and that type of thing, and based upon that survey, they come up with this number. Anyways, it was a good positive number. We had earnings come out today. As many of you know, Walmart is the United States' largest retailer out there. And Walmart beat on both the top and the bottom line. And they beat handsomely. They knocked the ball off the cover. That said, the stock was down 9% today. Okay, it was down 9%. Why was it down 9%? Well, one thing that companies do when they go to report earnings is they look at same store sales, what their same store sales were up year over year. They don't look at new stores. So it has to be stores that were open for over 1 year. And Walmart's same store sales only grew by 2.6%. You may think, hey, that's pretty good. It grew by nearly 3%. That being said, it's the weakest pace since 2020. Walmart's management attributed this to two things. Number one, the consumer spending less money on discretionary items, and they related that to higher energy costs. And number two, with the healthcare mandate coming out of Washington on prescription drugs, Walmart, remembers, an enormous pharmacy on top of everything else that they do, but their pharmacy sales were down, and the pharmacy sales were down about 0.8%. That's saying they crushed earnings, and management also gave great forward-looking guidance, meaning they said, hey, at the beginning of the year, we thought we were only going to grow by X, but guess what? Now that we're looking at things, we think we're going to grow by Y. Stock sold off 9% due to the fact that when Walmart, when they used to have a saying, when Walmart coughs, the rest of the retail community gets a cold. Well, when they see the consumer slowing down, what does that mean for other companies, so on and so forth? And that's one of the reasons why you saw the market drop today, because it's a good signal coming out of Walmart. That being said, earnings in totality have been extremely strong. For the Fortune 500 companies, were 93% done with Fortune 500 companies reporting their earnings. And we only have 37 companies left to go out of the S&P 500. This earnings season has been extremely strong. Companies have beaten earnings. We have revenue beats of about 80% of companies, and about 84% of companies beating on earnings per share. So it's just been a wonderful earnings season. That all being said, what loomed over the market today? Two major things. As I've been saying to you all month, the price of oil. Oil was up huge today on tensions in the Strait of Hormuz, right? We're getting not a lot of positive news out there. It's a lot of headline news about, hey, we're not in negotiations, we'll do this, we'll do that, and none of that's positive. Oil closed at $87.90, $87.80, but it was up nearly 3% today. It was really 2.7%, but we were up above $87 a barrel. This is obviously in line with what Walmart said. They're seeing the consumer spend less. So that's one thing that loomed on the market today. The price of oil. The other thing was Walmart saying that they're seeing discretionary spending slide. And lastly was the 30-year Treasury. The 30-year Treasury, as you may remember when I reported yesterday, I said that Treasury Secretary Scott Bennett went out there and they said, heck, here's what we're going to do in Treasury. We're going to start buying $4 billion bonds starting in September, ending in November, and we're going to do it twice as often. And that brought the 30-year Treasury down. And when you saw 30-year mortgage rates drop by about 6.75 down to about 6.2, that was positive for the market. But today we saw a complete reversal in that. We saw that 30-year mortgage rate go back to about 6.75, therefore costing the consumer more money, and therefore the consumer not having as much discretionary dollars in their pocket, and therefore the consumer not going out there and spending it, and therefore corporate profits going down. All these things are tied together. So what's next? Listen, tomorrow's Friday, and looking ahead, we have no major U.S. data on the calendar. However, the Federal Reserve's up in Jackson Hole. And you better believe that the Federal Reserve will be talking. Scott Walsh is scheduled to speak tomorrow. We'll be in tune to all of the Fed's reports. I'll be reporting to you about what's kind of gearing up to look like a horrible week. I'll give you the market recap after the market closes tomorrow on Friday, and we will rock and roll from there. So listen, if you like these videos, if you're learning something from these videos, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all, folks. Signing off for you today. Sorry I'm posting this so late. Many of you will see it in the morning. Stay tuned. Tomorrow I'll give you a much better recap, wrap everything up, and I'm done. That's me reporting for August 20th, 2026. Derek Eichenwald, Triumph Capital Management. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.